Welcome to the Honesty Club podcast.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Sarah Joy.
We've been friends for over a decade, and at this point, we've talked about everything.
Each week, we'll take a hot topic and give our honest takes. And even better, we're inviting you to be a part of the conversation by submitting your stories and thoughts.
Laugh a little, learn a little, and even feel free to disagree.
You're invited to join the Honesty Club. All right, welcome back, everybody. Well, welcome back to us.
Yeah, you didn't know we were gone, but we were gone.
We were gone for a long time
Feels like a long time.
I was about to say April.
No.
No. August was last time.
Yeah.
No, well.
Was it?
No, it
It was
wasn't.
September.
It was my due
right?
date. Yeah, early September.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we were mostly done in August, actually, but
Yeah.
then we recorded the video episodes in September.
Yes.
Like the first week.
Right.
And
so now it's November.
now we're in
Crazy.
November.
And we both have babies.
Yeah. One of the fresher episodes that we'll be doing
Yeah.
because we're recording
Definitely.
beginning of the week and this will come out Thursday. So, yeah.
The anticipated episode.
Yeah. I'm excited. You know I love a birth story. I've always loved a birth story.
Okay.
I love the guts and glory.
Wow.
And now,
You've got your own guts and glory.
my own guts and glory. So I figure for today's episode, just to make the most of the time, because I figure that it might lean a little long, we'll save all of our life updates.
Perfect.
We're planning a Yap episode where
Yeah.
we'll just fill you in on all the things. So that'll be coming up next time.
Yes.
Where-
we just have a big one.
Big shoot the breeze. Yes. And then we'll just go all birth today.
I love it.
All
Should
right.
we get started?
Let's dive right
Dive
in.
right in. Okay.
Okay.
So let's start from the beginning.
Take it back.
Take it back.
Take it all the
to
way back.
beginning.
Well, I will say, I think I've mentioned this before, but I didn't really put a lot of weight into my due date, and I, in fact, told people
Yeah.
a different due date so that they wouldn't be on me. Why haven't you had the baby yet? Are you getting induced? Blah, 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 blah. So I think on my registry, I put a week after
Yeah.
just to give myself extra time.
Right.
And so, okay, my due date was the 6th, and I put on my registry the 15th.
Okay.
So that maybe I'll have a baby by then, maybe not,
Yeah.
whatever. And because I know, as a first-time mom, you probably will go at least a week past.
Right.
So, and I wasn't getting induced, and my birth center gave me up to 2 weeks to go over. So I had up to 42 weeks to have the baby. So I was like, we're just not going to go with the 6th
Yeah.
at all.
That's crazy to think about the 6th now.
Yeah. Yeah, she was not.
Not at all.
Not at all. So the 6th came and went, let me tell you. And
Sure
I
did.
think at that 40-week appointment, I was like, why don't you check me and see? Is there anything? And she was like, no. There's no, because somebody was like, get her to sweep your membranes or whatever. And she's like, I can't get in there at all. There's nothing to sweep because you're not dilated at all.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
That probably would have
So
hurt too.
yeah. I was like, I'll just, keep waiting. Which it was fine because I was like, I'm only at the 40-week mark. But then you just, whether you want to or not, it does get in your head a little bit.
It does. I know. It's so true. You can tell yourself all you want. I know it's going to be late. You still get in your head.
Here's where it got in my head. And it's when I got to 41 weeks. And then everybody's like, you'll go into labor. And I'm like, okay, but you've never been this pregnant. I'm like, you had your baby at 39 weeks, or you had your baby at 39 or 40 weeks and 2 days. You didn't have your baby at 41 plus. So anyway, I found one friend that was like, oh yeah, I almost delivered at 42 weeks. I was like, okay, that's good. But the other thing that was getting in my head was no signs of labor.
You didn't have it's a thing.
Not a thing.
Not
a
even
thing.
1 inch.
No.
That was shocking to me.
Yeah. So no centimeters dilated, nothing, no effacement. I never even actually got an effacement read
To this
ever.
day.
No. I was never effaced. I don't know. And no lost mucus plug, no back pain, no, what else is...
Did you have Braxton Hicks or no?
I had Braxton Hicks for like a
Okay.
month.
Yeah.
So it didn't really mean anything
Yeah.
to me at that
To
point.
you, yeah. There was like nothing.
Yeah,
I'm like, are you feeling anything?
nothing. So yeah, then people are like, are you feeling anything? And you're like, literally not a thing.
And that also gets you to like, no, I have no update right now.
No update, except that I feel normal.
Exactly.
And yeah,
Yeah.
she's running out of time. So basically, it got to this week where I had until Saturday to have the baby.
Down to the wire.
So, yeah, we went in on, I think, Monday. Yes, we went in on Monday night to, once you go past 41 weeks, they want to do the non-stress test and the BPP. So, non-stress test is like their heart rate and stuff and your contractions, and the BPP is like another scan. So, we actually got to see her
Yeah.
that night, and we got like, you know, there's not as much to see as in like the 20-week one because they're all like smashed up in there.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, I think we saw her mouth, like we saw some lips and we saw some fists, and I can't remember if we saw a foot. We might have seen a foot again.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we got to see her again, and then it felt like really real because it was like, we're going to see you this week. Like, this is
Literally
crazy.
any day now. Yeah.
Yeah. So she checked me again at that appointment, and she was like, yeah, so you're still not really anything. She was like, it's all soft,
Yeah.
but there's no like real dilation. I was like, rad.
Great.
So she was like, I'll try to do some pressure points, which I don't even know what that means. It didn't, nothing hurt.
Yeah.
She was just kind of, I don't even know. She wasn't like going in and doing a sweep. She was doing pressure points. So
Okay.
I don't really know. And then she was like, what I would tell you to do is just like walk and walk and walk and walk.
Okay.
I was like, okay. So we left. I don't know how to explain it, but I was feeling good after that appointment.
Okay.
I was feeling amazing. It was like at night.
Yeah.
We went at like 5 or 6, got the scan. So we left there at like, I don't know, 7 or so. And I don't know, maybe it was just seeing her again, but I
Yeah,
was like,
it gave
this,
you some more motivation.
yeah,
It's
I was like,
coming.
we got this.
Yeah.
Like, she's coming,
Yeah.
whatever. So on the way home, we left. We got a Chick-fil-A milkshake because I've heard there's folklore that the milkshake can put you into labor. I was like, let's
Is
just do it
any
for fun.
Flavor or certain
Yeah.
flavor? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's
I
any
thought it was
flavor.
like a banana something.
No, no, because that
Maybe
one's
they're
not
making
always
one. Yeah,
out.
oh, there,
yeah.
yeah.
I think they're just having one. Anyway, we got a cookies and cream shake,
Nice.
which, you know, you should just celebrate getting to 41
Absolutely.
weeks, you know?
Yes.
So we got that on the way home, and then we got home, and I was like, we had been taking walks every night,
Yeah.
and I would add in a little jog at the end, but we
Wow.
weren't going the longest distance.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's just walk, like, let's walk till we drop.
How we literally dropped the baby.
And let me also say that I had it in my mind that the full moon was going to be my backup plan for going into labor, because a lot of people go into labor at the full moon. It's kind of like how a lot of people sync up their menstrual cycles with the full moon too. Not on purpose. It's just, it happens. So I've also heard that like back in the day, like back in the olden times, prehistoric times, like women would calculate when they were going to have a baby by the 10th full moon. So from conception, count 10 full moons, and then that's probably when your baby happens.
Wow.
So we're now at the 17th after the 6th. Okay, so we're 11 days later, and it's a full moon. So it's going to be a full moon for 2 days. And that was like the full night of it. It was like 99% full. And then the next day, the 18th, would be like full. So I was like, we're going to do a huge walk, and it's a full moon.
just
So
gotta go.
hopes are high. Yeah. So we walked and walked and walked and walked and walked. We probably walked about 3 miles.
Wow.
And I just had my belly out. I was like, I don't know if the moon needs to see it, or like, I don't know if I need moonbeams on me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not like praying to the moon or anything at all. I'm literally just like it controls the tides and stuff. So maybe it can like get things going in labor. So, we're like totally trusting the Lord. I'm not getting into any new age stuff.
It's moving just the water in her belly.
Yeah. Turn the tides inside me.
Her stomach.
Yeah. So we did that, and then came home. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else that I did, but
Yeah.
it was like milkshake, long walk, really long walk, and then we went to bed. And I did a bunch of squats that night too.
Did you squat?
Oh, I had been squatting like over 100 times a day. So went to sleep. I woke up the next morning and felt an upset stomach. I was like, kind of like, I might have diarrhea, to be honest.
Absolutely.
I was like, ugh. So I woke up and it was like right before my alarm went off at 7. And so I was like, let me just go, sit on the toilet and whatever, because I kind of don't feel good.
Right.
So I kind of roll out of bed, stand up,
water.
Gush. And I was like, oh, maybe I didn't need to poop,
I needed to gush.
I needed to gush. So I was like, oh, snap. And Peter's like, what? And I was like, my water broke. Like, I definitely did not pee on myself just now. Like,
no, absolutely.
It's water. And so then, like,
was it like a lot or like trickle? Like, what was it?
It was like, I mean, if you're watching the video episode, it's probably like that much, I would think.
Whoa.
So not like the most, but definitely like a good gush.
Yeah.
And I was like looking at it, in the bathroom. I was like looking at my pajama shorts and stuff. I'm like, is this pee? Making sure. I'm like, I don't want to be like one of those people who's like, I peed myself, and then they're like, I went into labor, and you're like, hey, no, you didn't. And it was just super clear, but like with little white chunks, which was vernix.
Oh my
I found out.
gosh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So I was like, that was the water breaking.
Yeah.
This is crazy. It's happening. Full moon, full stop, whatever.
It's go time.
Yeah, it's go time. So I was excited. So I was like, let me get up and take a shower because,
You texted me.
I know. Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And
It's
Matthew was right there. I
happening.
was like, Sarah's water broke.
And we had just seen y'all, I feel like.
Right? Like the day before? No.
Yeah,
Or
it's
like
maybe
a couple
2 days before.
Yeah.
Maybe like Sunday. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And there was no signs. I was just squatting all the time at your house.
Yeah.
Doing lunges and stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm excited. I know I'm not like going to go into labor immediately, but I want to like get up, get dressed, wash my hair, feel great.
Yeah.
So that all of that's behind me by the time things happen. So in the shower, I started feeling like light contractions and I was like, oh man, okay. Like it's actually like starting something.
Yeah.
Also, the water, I thought my water broke and like that was it. No, I was gushing all day.
Oh, right. Yes.
So I got out and then I was like, oh, like another flood. So I was like,
Yeah. It like doesn't stop.
no.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got up, we had breakfast, we took communion with a grape lollipop.
Cute.
We kind of let people know, hey, my water broke, and we started this like blog kind of thing. So Peter had like basically a kind of like a blog page set up, and we only gave the link to people who we wanted to like know step by step. Yeah. But it was easier than texting everybody, whatever. So we were like, hey, don't share the link, but here's where we'll put like all of our updates, which was actually, I feel like a great idea for us because we didn't have to,
everybody.
Yeah. Or even text one person and have them distribute it. It was kind of like still coming from us.
Yeah.
But it was just like a little page to follow along. So we made a little video and posted it.
Well, I tell you, I was checking that every minute.
Yeah. Just refresh. I was too for the comments. Keeping me going.
I finally downloaded the app.
Oh,
eventually,
really?
So I could do comments because it was calling me like pink hippo or something.
Yeah, I know.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Nobody knows this is me.
Yeah. It was like Amber Bird. I'm like, who is that?
Exactly. I'm like, huh?
Yeah. It was giving like real random animal names. But I was like, Peter, this is your secret mission to get everybody to download your note-taking app that you're always trying to get people to download.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So anyway, we were dropping updates. I think we were dropping updates like a couple days before too.
Yeah.
Because it was like, we're going on a walk.
That was at our house.
Yeah.
Setting it up.
Yeah. we're like, we're going on a walk. We took the non-stress test. Here's a picture of her from the scan. Like, so we were kind of like doing that already. So we're like, hey, water broke, whatever. So then we're kind of going about our day. I'm like, I need to keep walking to keep things going, but it was still so hot outside and like super humid, and we were going into like, you know, the heat of the day.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to stay moving. So we went to Costco so that, you know.
And I remember you texted me that. I was like, are you just like flooding the Costco?
I was
like, how are you walking?
I was wearing your little skirt, your pregnancy skirt, and this
that
green
is
shirt.
what I was wearing when I went into labor.
Shut up. Sisterhood of the Traveling Skirts. Wow.
That's hilarious.
Wow. If anybody needs to go into labor, we have a skirt.
Wear that skirt.
We have a skirt. Okay, so I just wanted to back up and say, there's one thing that did get in my head, you know, because I was planning on like a natural birth, but then, or like an unmedicated birth, whatever, all birth is natural. But I was planning on that, and I was kind of thinking like, what if I didn't take like the course that would help me? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
everybody like,
obviously there's one thing that needs to happen, you know.
Yeah, I'm like, what if I'm missing this one bit of information I haven't prepped accordingly, you know?
No.
So that's the one thing that it kind of gets in your head because you're like, you haven't done it before. Can I do it?
Yeah.
And, you know, is there some kind of vital information that I need that I'm not taking I didn't take any course.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, am I missing?
You know, so many people have it.
And then I was like, my mom didn't have a course.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
The people way back in the day,
yeah.
zero.
The village people don't have a
have
course.
anything.
Yeah.
They were just doing it.
My ancestors didn't have a course. My grandma didn't have a course.
Exactly.
So I just told myself, it's fine.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. And then, leading up, you know, I have done my homework. I'm not like birth illiterate. I watch tons of videos. I listen to tons of stories. I love birth content.
Yeah.
I watch all the things. I love the gore. But I had been doing lunges, squats, inversions. Oh my gosh, so many inversions because she wasn't breech, but she was on the wrong side. So basically babies are supposed to be on the left side, kind of facing your back. And she was on the right side facing front. She was like, she was not in position.
Yeah.
Which is also a reason I wasn't dilated because she was in like a C shape with her face like looking up. So her head wasn't like in the canal.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Got it.
So they were like, just do the mile circuit or do inversions, basically your head on the ground, your butt in the air, to try to get her to have the room to turn into the right position. So when I tell you I did so many inversions, I like slept in a elevated, exaggerated sidelining position for like weeks.
Yeah.
She did not. She did not turn to the other side.
She's like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
So they were like, it's not bad. You could still go into labor like that. And they're like, probably when you start labor, she'll turn into position. Yeah. So that happens for a lot of people. But they're like, it's not the end of the world. You can still have your baby. If she doesn't turn into it, you'll just have a lot of back labor. Okay. I was like, okay.
Thanks.
Hopefully not. Okay. So she, up until the last second, she was still sunny side up, basically, which is where they come out facing up instead of facing down. Okay. Which is...
She's looking at you.
She's looking at you, but like when they come out facing down, the smallest part of their head comes out first, so it's like easier. When they come out facing up, it's the biggest part of their head, so it's just very hard up front to get them out.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I did not know that. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that.
So that's why it's difficult.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So having said that, we went to Costco, we went to the car wash, we went to the thrift store, we went to World Market, shopped around, got a little coffee, and I was just run to the bathroom every few minutes, to kind of keep things dry, and also stopping to like have contractions and like time them and everything. Right. So basically we weren't going to head in to the birth center until the contractions were every 4 minutes, 1 minute long, for 1 hour.
Okay.
So we're following the 4-1-1 rule. So, yeah, we're doing that. Then I was like, let's stop and get lunch, our last lunch. Maybe this will be a tradition. We'll have this lunch like every year on your birthday or every time we have a baby or something. First of all, I'm like, we never want to eat there again.
Oh, shoot. I just knocked the mic out.
You're fine.
Are we good? Okay.
I think we're good. So we went to Mod Pizza.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you didn't go to like Grimaldi.
Our favorite place. Yeah. We went to Mod Pizza. It was a delicious pizza. I will stand by that. It was great.
Great in the moment.
The contractions were starting to get more intense. And yeah, I was like really like
you even
powering
hungry?
down. Yeah, I was hungry.
Okay.
But I ate 2 slices probably.
Yeah.
And I was like powering down to get through the contractions because they were starting to get like really painful.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And this is probably like noon or 1. So,
Right.
I mean, all in all, we still have a long ways to go.
Little did you know.
Yeah. So, I was like, we were going to go to Hobby Lobby after that to keep like walking
Long
and
pace.
distracting. Yeah. And then we got to the Hobby Lobby parking lot and I was like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not feeling great.
No.
So on the way home,
Right on.
I kind of, on the way home, like during the contractions, I would also kind of feel nauseous. And I was like, oh no.
Not this.
Yeah. So we got home. I got on the couch. I had this like Gilmore Girls magazine, which I still haven't read yet.
Girls magazine.
Yes. It's like a new Gilmore Girls magazine.
What?
My mother-in-law found it
Show me.
at the grocery store. It's like a,
How cute. Gilmore Girls really is.
They have a
taking on
renaissance,
surge,
yeah.
So that makes sense.
Mhm.
But that's really cute. Okay, I didn't know that part.
yeah. So I was trying to look through it, and all of a sudden I was like, I think I want to throw up.
No.
Unfortunately, I hate throwing up.
That's
And
not-
I did. I threw up all of lunch.
Did you make it to the bathroom?
To the bathroom?
Did you throw up in the bathroom?
No, I was on the couch with a bowl.
Oh, so you were prepared. Okay.
Yeah, Peter ran and got me a bowl, and I was like, you know,
Oh no.
which is
Ugh.
not great. Yeah. So, threw up all my lunch and just kind of was like hanging in there. So,
Yeah.
then it was about like 4 o'clock, and I was measuring the times, and they were. I think we were now at the point where it was the 4-1-1.
Okay.
And so we called my midwife.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just hoping she'd be like, okay, awesome. Come
Uh-huh.
on in.
Yeah.
And I had been texting my doula, and she's like, yeah, I think it's time to call your midwife, whatever.
Okay.
I called my midwife. She's like, okay, so I want to be sure that it's like, really, really real.
Yeah.
So why don't you get in a warm bath and call me back in an hour and see if they slow down or if they stay the same. I was like, another hour. So we start the bath. First of all, it takes me like so much time to get in the bath because I'm
You have
like,
a very tall bath. Also.
well, also I'm like having so much like super intense
Yeah.
contractions to like get in there.
Right.
Every time you try to move or like walk
Yeah.
somewhere or whatever, it's like,
You gotta take
Yeah.
a break.
oh
Every
yeah.
minute, every second.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you gotta rush to whatever you're doing because then
Yeah.
another one comes on and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I got in the tub. Like the first one was like a little bit spaced out. It was like a little bit longer than 4 minutes. And then
Yeah,
after
okay.
that,
Okay.
so I was like, oh, maybe it is slowing down.
Yeah.
And then after that, they were like super consistent again.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So we waited an hour. We called her again. She's like, okay, let's make a plan to meet up. We'll meet up because, okay, our birth center was an hour away. She's like, we'll meet up at 7.
At the birth center.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was probably 5, and then it took me from 5 till like almost 6 to like
Get
pack
going.
the car, get
Right.
redressed,
Yeah.
you know, and I was kind of like taking my time. And I wanted to like film one video of us walking out the door, so
Yeah.
it took an
Yeah.
hour to get in the car. And then we drove there, and
How'd the bath feel? Did you feel good in the bath at all? Or
I did.
It was kind of nice.
It was
You
kind of
just
nice.
got a little bath in before.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's kind of comforting.
Okay.
But getting in and getting out,
The worst.
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, whatever. During the car ride, to distract myself, okay, from the time I got in the car I pretty much did not open my eyes until I gave birth. Like, I was just, like, in the zone. Like, I pretty much just closed my eyes the entire car ride.
Yeah.
Because I was just, like, focused because the contractions kept coming.
Yeah.
I had surfaces, like, blasting because that would help me get through the contractions.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I was singing along or just kind of, like, I don't think I was singing along. I think I was just, like, anticipating the song, kind of following along to it in my head, and that would help me, like, breathe through the contractions.
Right.
So we did that the entire way. We got there. It was 7:00. My doula was there waiting on me. Like, she came right to the car.
Oh.
And I was like, it's going to take me a while to get inside because I'm still nauseous and going through it and everything. So I was like, just give me a minute. Let me get through another contraction and then try to start walking.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of like a long walk through there back into the room. So I had to stop in the hallway, have another contraction, and I sat down, whatever. Then the contraction stopped. I was like, okay, let's book it to the room. And I got to the room, sat down, and I was like, I'm going to throw up.
Oh, probably all that, like, moving, too.
Yeah.
Wasn't helpful.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to throw up again. First of all, I haven't eaten, but, you know, I have to throw up. And I had, like, this little plastic bucket, and I threw up again. She gave me some, like, essential oils on my neck and everything, and she was, like, fanning me, like, so much empathy.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm, like, puking. You know, I hate watching other people throw up. So I was like,
sure they see it a lot.
I'm so sorry, whatever.
You know.
But they were being awesome about it. So then they were like, okay, get in the bed and take your pants off so we can, like, check you. And that was so hard to do.
To even just, like, undress, get in.
Oh, so hard. Whose baby is
I
that?
think that's yours. Because this has no sound. There you go.
Okay. It might be. So, hard to say.
I know, I'm, like, triggered.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
She's not moving, but I don't think she's making noise.
Yeah. So, yeah. Got on the bed, and then she checked me, the midwife checked me, and then she was like, okay, so there's no change since last night. Which I'm like...
What, did your heart sink?
I didn't have a reaction, really.
You were in too much pain to have.
I didn't have a reaction. I was like, there, first of all, is no way. And
yeah, exactly. You're like, what?
I was like, you're kidding me, because these are so painful, and they are, like, I'm not making this up. Like, they're so intense.
Yeah. No, whenever I got the news that they said there was nothing, I was like, you're absolutely kidding me. How is that possible?
Yeah.
Because what you had described before you went ghost.
Yeah. I did go ghost mode.
I was like, she's probably going to have it soon, right?
Right.
My God, not in it.
Yeah. That's fine. So I was like, you're joking. She's like, okay, we actually shouldn't admit you yet, but she's like, I don't want you to drive all the way back home.
That was very nice.
So why don't you sit in this bed with a peanut ball for 4 hours?
I had chills.
I know. And she was like, I'm going to be honest, it's probably going to be all night, you know.
You know, at least she was preparing you.
Yeah, she was.
Instead of being like, you know, because optimism is great, but, like, if you're not prepared for what's coming, that's going to be harder, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not.
In my mind, I was kind of like, that's not what I want to hear, but also challenge accepted. Like, let me try to get her out beforehand. Let me try to go less than 4 hours.
There you go.
You know?
Yeah.
So basically, I think she gave me some kind of homeopathic to put under my tongue, like some kind of homeopathic pill kind of thing. And then she had me on my side with the peanut ball. And she said, like, you rotate sides every 30 minutes or something.
Wow.
And so she just left us in there, and she went and took a nap. And so did our doula, because they were like,
amazing.
we need to be rested up when you actually are. And, like, I do think, looking back, I was like, why was it so painful, you know, that then? One, because my water broke, so it automatically puts more pressure. And two, she was putting pressure, but her head wasn't in the right position.
Yeah.
So we wasn't making progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately. So more and more pressure, but she just wasn't moved into place.
Right.
So the peanut ball, I mean, when I was laying there, I could get through the contractions. You know, I was like gripping Peter's hand, like squeezing it.
It's like bruised.
Yeah, squeezing it so hard. But every time that I had to rotate, it was the worst pain I've ever felt. Like, it was so difficult to like move.
Yeah.
And I would be like, you know, like,
Yeah.
and they're like, breathe. And I'm like, no.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, I'm like in so much pain. So the first contraction, every time I would move, was like so painful. Anyway, so she came back in to check me, I want to say almost 11 o'clock at night.
Oh my gosh.
Which she might have come back in another time, but, you know, there wasn't, she was just doing vitals and stuff.
Yeah.
She was doing like blood pressure, heart rate, fetal heart rate.
Okay.
I don't know. She was just
Checking all
doing,
the things.
yeah, she was just doing vitals. So it was about 11, and she was like, you need to like rotate so I can check you again.
You're like, no, please, no.
So I rotated, and then I started barfing everywhere again. And when I tell you, I don't know how this happened, but I barfed the grape Olipop that I had for breakfast. So I don't know how it was still
That's
in
probably
there.
all that was left.
Yeah, it reached the bottom of the
It reached
barrel.
the bottom of the pit.
Yeah. I was like, I've peed so much in a day and threw up
You got
so
rid of
much,
Everything.
but somehow we still had a little bit of grape Olipop saved for me to throw up. Because it was like purple.
That really sticks
like,
with you, I guess.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
So-
Was it just like you turned and it's just like, wah.
Oh, yeah.
Like you didn't even
Yeah.
know it was coming. It was
Yeah.
like,
Well, they had like Chuck's pads on the bed, so I think,
That's good.
but I was like, I'm so sorry, you know, whatever. I think
Well,
I still
I'm
got
sure.
on some pillowcases and stuff.
I'm
and
sure they're used to
then they
that.
got me like a little emesis bag and I was just going at it.
Oh my gosh.
But
No.
she didn't fully like check me again, like putting her fingers in or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard this, like kind of folklore. She also didn't want to check me. She basically never checked me again as far as like going in, because you could introduce, when your water has broken, you could introduce bacteria
Yeah.
if you're like sticking things up.
Right.
So she was just kind of like going off of signs
Okay.
at that point.
Wow.
She's like, the vomiting was another sign
Yeah.
that you like turned another corner. And then this is like folklore, but there people say you get like a purple line like above your butt crack.
Interesting.
And once you get this line, or once it's like a certain length, that should be like your X amount dilated. So she was like, you were probably like 4 or 5 because of the line on your butt.
Holy
and
shit,
we throwing
something,
up.
But
Yeah.
you're still like.
So she was like, okay, like we're gonna start this. We're basically gonna admit you, quote unquote, now.
Yeah.
And my doula came in, and she's like, okay, like she's doing what I asked her to do, which was keep me moving in positions.
Yeah.
Now, maybe what I should have said is, which is not accurate, because you do want to get the baby out. But I was thinking, keep me moving, keep me in different positions to help me with the pain management.
Yeah.
But she was putting me in positions to get the baby out.
Right. Different goals.
Different goals. So they were the worst, but good overall.
They were still leading to the same thing.
Yeah. So they were very difficult, but you know, whatever. So at first, I think I was like leaning over the bed. We got out of the bed, and I was like leaning over the bed. I think maybe I was on my knees, like on the bed.
Yeah.
And then I think at one point they gave me like a ball, so I was like sitting on the ball and leaning over the bed and going through the contractions there. I don't know how long we stayed there, but it was a while. And then she's like, okay, let's get up, let's walk to the other side of the room, and let's have you like kind of hang over the bathroom counter.
Good? Okay.
No talk?
Hello?
Okay. I think we're good. So it was like,
Yeah, stop talking with my hands.
yeah. Okay. It was like hang over the bathroom counter and like sway and like do the rebozo or whatever. So the rebozo is like this fabric thing, and Peter was like holding it up to kind of like
Okay.
get pressure off my belly. It did not take pressure off my belly. So I was doing that for a while. It was intense. And then, so we were in that, I don't even know. We were in that for a while. Then around like 1 a.m., we moved to the shower.
Okay.
And so in the shower,
You actually took a shower?
no,
Oh.
we're just utilizing warm water.
I see. Okay.
So I was in the shower. I had an exercise ball.
Okay.
I was leaning over the exercise ball on the floor. Like my knees were on the ground, leaning over the ball.
Okay.
And then they were doing, yes, but they had a towel under my knees. But my knees were killing, and so were my feet.
Yeah, I bet.
It's fine. And so it was Peter and my doula, April. So they were alternating. Like one of them was squeezing my hips together, and the other one was like running warm water or hot water down my back, which was helping. But I could only feel, I don't know how to explain it. I could only feel like the water or the squeeze. Like I couldn't feel both. And I was like, can you also give me hip pressure? And they were like, we are.
Oh my gosh.
So with me like on the towel on my knees, the towel was like going over the drain. So then apparently it was like flooding the whole bathroom. So they had to keep like trying to move the water like into the drain and stuff in between contractions. And then I think they brought me, my midwife was like, here's, like she brought in like a cup of hot red raspberry leaf tea.
Aww.
And she's like, this might help, whatever. She left it, and I was like, I am not drinking hot tea.
Yeah. I was like, that's sweet, but
No.
I don't think I would want to drink it.
No, first of all, I'm burning on red raspberry leaf tea. Second of all, I do not want anything hot in my body. I was like,
Also,
there's
you
not.
just didn't want really anything.
No. So they brought me like a coconut water, and I was taking like
Oh, it made
sips.
me vomit.
Well, I needed the electrolytes.
I just don't like coconut water
Yeah.
by itself.
Yeah, it was very
With
cold.
stuff, it's fine, but
It was straight. It was cold though, so I was just taking down like little sips of it to not throw up again. So there's that.
wow. So what time are we at now?
I think we're at like 1 a.m.
Okay.
I don't know, but I was in the shower for a long time, so maybe 1 to 2. I'm not really sure.
Did you have so much like adrenaline going and pain and everything you weren't really like tired? Or were you
I was not tired.
Okay, that's good.
I don't think so.
Like, yeah, that was the least of your worries.
Yeah. And I kept telling myself, I will not be in labor tomorrow night.
Yeah,
So there is a finish line,
right.
and I just need to get to that.
Absolutely.
The only time I wasn't really like, I can't do this or whatever, but like when we had first gotten there, and then she was like, you're not dilated. I was like, I don't know how much more pain I can take.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm a little scared because this is really bad already.
Already, yeah, totally.
I will say from that point, like, I don't know if it hurt worse. It just hurt differently from there.
Okay.
So it's not like it got so much worse after that point.
Different
It
things.
moved down.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So at first it was like front cramps, and they were so painful. Then it started moving into my hips and like the top of my hips. I'm like, squeeze them so hard,
Yeah.
Then it was like the bottom of my hips and my, like lower hips, like dig into the sides of my cheeks kind of.
Yeah.
And then when I was in the shower, it definitely moved from the top of my hips to like mid butt cheek, like where I want the pressure. And then I started feeling like a little bit poop cramp.
Okay, yeah.
Like I started feeling like it was going toward my butt, Yeah,
which is like a good sign.
which is a good sign. So I was kind of like, ugh, like they started getting more guttural. And then she was like, okay, I was like, is there another position that I should try? And she was like, the toilet. And I was like, no, I don't want to go on the toilet. That sounds so painful.
Not the toilet.
Not the toilet, which is basically you sit on the toilet backwards, and you kind of like, you kind of like you're straddling the toilet, and then you're like hanging over the tank.
Okay. Yeah.
With a pillow.
That's exactly what I saw.
I was like, I don't want to go on the toilet, like that just sounds. I'm going from like at least hot water down my back to like dry and straddled and
No
hugging the toilet.
Yeah.
So I got on the toilet, and that's where it went straight to my butt. I was like, I might poop. I don't know. I can't tell. My sounds went like guttural, I think, at that point, because I was like, they started going like I was breathing through the contraction. I'd get to the end and be like, because I had to like
get it out.
Yeah, I had to make some kind of deep noise.
Yeah.
Let me say, first of all, there's so many like details I don't want to like forget, but the music. I was on a Surfaces kick the whole way there, and it was getting me through because I was like, you know, another Tuesday, we sleep, and like I knew the song so well, and there was like such a tempo and a beat or whatever. It was like getting me through. So then we were gonna try to, and I don't even know what happened here. I obviously was not in control of the music, but I was like, connect to the speaker. I don't know if we ever connected to the speaker. I think it was just playing off the phone the whole time because Peter couldn't figure out the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth.
He was busy.
He was busy.
Mentally.
Yes, exactly. So I don't...
And physically.
Yeah. So he never got on the Wi-Fi, which meant that we didn't have access to the songs that we were gonna use. We had this other playlist from our wedding, and it was like Corey Asbury, Sean Foyt music, and it's like very chill, peaceful, and it has good memories on it already. So I was like, let's do that playlist, you know, if I need to change a pace. He was kind of like, let's tone it down off of Surfaces and get into like more of like a chill thing, since you're going to be in the bed with the peanut ball forever, you know, whatever, trying to rest. So he was trying to find that. He couldn't find it because I don't know if it was the Wi-Fi or what. So he just went off of like the album he had downloaded, which was not, it's not like I had this super intricate plan, but it was not, I didn't plan for this music to be there. So it was Jonathan Stockstill's album, I think, Worth the Wait.
Actually don't know what that's called.
It's like the Red album.
Yeah, I know what it looks like.
Which I haven't even listened to much. Like, but he had it, so he just started playing it. We go through a couple songs. Well, all of a sudden, he just decided that this one song was it, and he put it on repeat. And when I tell you it was on repeat, probably, it was literally on repeat all night long, probably from 11 till when I had the baby.
Whoa.
When we stayed with that song.
You didn't get sick of it. You probably didn't have time.
I didn't have time to get sick of it.
You know?
I was conscious that it kept going. Yeah. So the song that he had on repeat was Trust You Completely. And that song has like 3 different, like, almost bridges to it. It has 3 different like main parts, if that makes sense. And it became kind of like if you listen to the song, it like got me through, because there was there's one part that says, I'm letting go, surrendering all. I trust you completely. Yeah. So at first that was kind of like a mantra for me, like I'm letting go, like I'm opening up, whatever. And then there's another part that's like, you're in the valley, standing right with me. You're on the water, calling me deeper. I'm like, literally, I have to go through more.
You're in the tub.
I'm in. No, yeah. But I was like, I feel like I'm in the valley, but you're there with me. And then I feel like I'm in the water, but I still have to go deeper to like get through it. Like, but you're calling me deeper. And then, oh my gosh. So it was a very spiritual experience, I think. But that song was definitely like, it kept getting me through. Yeah. And the first time I listened to it again, I was like sobbing, because I was like, oh my gosh, this literally, just thinking about those lyrics, they were just like, because you feel like I am going to die, you know, kind of.
You should send that as a testimony.
Right. I know. Yeah. And then it was also, it's like, you're big enough for all my fears. I give it all. I trust you completely. So I was like, literally like kind of praying that song, especially on the toilet. I started like praying. Yeah. I was like, Lord, like I surrender, like help me, you know, like all these things. I was like praying out on the toilet, because that seriously got so real. Yeah. So I was there for a while, and then I was like, it was starting to get so bad. I was like, Peter, pray for me. Like, I can't even like pray anymore, you know?
Yeah. I need someone to pray for me.
Yeah. And anyway, so at that point, I think things got more real. I think they were like, oh, okay, they were all noticing also that things were getting, so they were like, they started filling up the tub. And I was like, thank God. If they're filling up the tub, they know that I'm getting close to pushing, you know?
Yeah.
So glad to hear it. The tub. They tried to get me in like a couple other positions from there, but they tried to take me like back to the bed. I think I got down on my knees like halfway through and was like, I cannot move another inch. Like,
leave me here.
Literally, I was like, I'm not moving to the bed. Like, they were trying to get me to like lunge, I think.
Oh God.
And I was like, I'm on my knees on the floor. Like,
we're past the lunging stage.
There's no lunging to be happening. So then I finally got in the tub. The tub felt great. But when you get to that point, when you're all dilated, it turns into a slower amount of time.
Okay.
Like the contractions, because it's not really like, it's a different kind of contraction. It moves from opening you up to pushing the baby down. So there's no more opening. So you're just waiting on the surges to like pull the baby down. So they're further spaced apart. So at that point, it was like more of a waiting game. I think I got in the tub around 3:00. And it was like, it was going to be another 2.5 hours, but you know.
She didn't know that yet.
Didn't know that yet. So, but they did slow down a bit. At first, I was in the tub kind of like arms over the side, like leaning into it. And then I would get like on my knees, kind of like not quite all fours because I was leaning over the tub, but then on my knees and trying to push that way. And again, I'm still using the breathing that I've been doing the whole time, which is like breathe through it. And then they were like, they tried to start coaching me on like breathing differently, which that threw me for a loop, but I'll get into that. I had gone through that for maybe 45 minutes, maybe longer. And they were like, you're not getting anywhere in this position. And you're also getting hemorrhoids. Or you're going to get hemorrhoids in this position.
Okay. I was like...
Yeah. They're like, you're going to get hemorrhoids in this position. So you need... Because you're just pushing too hard. So it would be better if you like leaned back. Which in my head, I was like, this feels like a hospital bed position. To like lean back and hold my legs up. And try to push that way. But... I went with it, you know. I was like, I'm not gonna argue. Whatever. Let's try it. Let's try it for a little bit and see if anything happens.
Yeah.
Once it got to a certain point, it was so painful. I mean, but I get that it's different. It's not as painful in a way of like the contractions, because the contractions would be super, super painful. But this was like the feeling of your skin being ripped open. So I want to know, at this point in the night, what do you know?
Okay. So Abby texted me and Matthew.
That's my sister-in-law.
Yes. And she told us that you guys had made it to the birthing center. And we're like, okay, cool. She's going to get checked out, you know, whatever.
Gosh, and that then, was at like 7.
Yeah. I don't remember how long. I think it wasn't that long that she texted us again and was like, okay, apparently she's still pretty far, you know, like she's far away from giving birth. So just pray, you know, whatever.
Thank you.
So we're like, okay. But I'm like, maybe, you know, it'll speed up. Well, then we're kind of just waiting. And it was a while before we got another one. We might have got an update that was like, everything's still the same. But then I went to bed and I woke up at 1 a.m. Yeah. I think I was still just like curious, you know, is anything happening? Sure. And I thought I would wake up to like, baby. Yeah. And the text was, still no updates. Like nothing's happening.
The update was nothing. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. The update is it's not happening. And so then I was like, oh my gosh, what?
Yeah.
Then I think I don't know if I woke up at 3 a.m. or what happened, but I saw another text that was like, she's going to start pushing soon.
All right.
So, you know, pray. I'm like, okay, yay, something's happening, you know? And that was like at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And then...
That was when I was getting in the tub, so...
Yeah. Then at like 5:20 is when, you know, we got the... It's done.
Yeah. 5:30. Yeah. Okay.
So I was like, oh my gosh.
So it's basically a long night of...
Yes.
You know, when you were giving birth that day, I was like... I was getting shook. Because I was like... I took a nap that day and I was like, I'm tired. I can't imagine being in labor all day.
Yeah.
But when you're in labor...
You don't think about it.
You don't think about it
and time is weird. It like...
It's random.
Goes by. It's fast and it's slow. It's all the things.
Yeah, it was pretty fast for me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't feel... Like, I didn't feel like it was long.
No.
But then everyone else around you is like,
Oh my gosh.
so long.
Yeah, if you're
you know?
not there in it, I feel like it
Yeah.
would feel like forever. But when you're
Exactly.
there and you're in the
You're
moment,
doing it. Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Time is
Yeah.
nothing.
No, exactly. I agree. So, but yeah, at the time I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, you don't make it. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, I'm gonna make it.
Exactly.
Felt like nothing. Yeah, anyway,
Right.
so they filled up the tub, and I was like, thank God they're filling up the tub because
Yeah.
we can do this.
We're doing
Yeah.
something.
And then the other thing that I was waiting for is the midwife's assistant to come in
Okay.
because they come in when you're actually pushing.
Oh,
charge.
okay. So that's
I was waiting for that, and then we had a friend that was going to come take photos for us. So I was waiting for those two people to enter the room.
Okay.
I was in the tub probably an hour before they got in.
Oh gosh.
Because things slowed down, we were
Yeah.
just whatever.
Right.
So I was hoping, that she was going to turn in labor.
Yeah.
And we're in the tub, and she's checking things, and she had not turned. And also, I don't know how she could tell, but she was like, oh, she also has the cord wrapped around her neck. She'll probably come out with the cord around her neck, which is very normal.
Yeah.
Like, I've watched
Yeah.
plenty of birth videos to know, like,
She
once
did, yeah.
around, like, that's normal. But it was just another factor.
Yeah.
To know,
So
like,
something
okay.
to think about. Yeah.
Yeah, I was fine with that. Like, that didn't freak me out or anything. I was just like, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. It was just waiting on, like, once you're in the water, it felt good.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a
A
little
little bit
bit
of relief.
mhm.
That's
A little
good.
bit of relief, and the contractions, I guess, were just different. They were just like, you're trying to open up, I guess. I
Right.
did, like, reach down, and I could feel her, which was crazy.
Yeah. You're like, okay.
You just feel like this squishy head
Close.
with hair. Because they do have
Yeah.
the top of that head is,
Yeah.
it was like
Squish.
soft, and like I could tell it had hair on it. I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
but
She's right there.
yeah. So at first she was like, yeah, right inside, and then it was
Yeah.
like she's out,
Yeah.
So yeah, she gradually got her head like out, partially out.
Yeah.
But then that stayed that way for a long time, just because I had to, again, push the biggest part of the head out.
Right. Right.
So basically everything that I had watched and prepped for was like
Yeah.
the wait on the fetal ejection reflex, which is like where your body helps like push it out, and you just
Okay.
like stay calm and breathe through it and don't push if you don't need to.
Okay.
But the thing is there was no progress being made.
So you didn't get to that.
So I needed
Point.
to push.
Right.
Yeah. So then they were like, let's try to start doing like the Lamaze breathing, which is like, so instead of just like,
Yeah.
exhaling out for a long time, like do the short breaths.
Okay.
So then I started doing those, and it still wasn't,
Doing it.
yeah. And then basically it got to a point where I think I was just very dehydrated.
Oh, I bet.
Dehydrated, hadn't eaten, whatever. So my blood pressure was going up. So she's like, we just need to try to get the baby out. Like,
Okay.
because then things
Yeah.
will go back to normal. So she's like, I don't think you're going to breathe this one out.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have to,
gonna be a
since she's
rough
sunny
one.
side up and everything, you're going to have to like,
Push it.
yeah. So then that's what threw me because again, like,
Right.
first of all the prep that you do, like holding ice cubes and everything, you're just trying to like breathe through it and exhale for a really long time.
Yeah.
And then all of the labor up until that point is I've been doing this one thing. So I feel like I kind of
Right.
not mastered it, but I'm used to,
Have it down at least. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just getting through it and then letting out like a guttural like at the end, because that
Yeah.
can help too. Or like
Right.
blowing raspberries or whatever at the end of it when you feel like you have
Yeah.
nothing left to give. So then they're like, here's what we need you to do. Hold your breath and send it down to your butt. And that threw me.
I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah. They're like, send
also-
your breath down.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah. Send your breath like down to your butt to just force with everything that you have to like push.
I have chills.
Yeah. So it took me so many times to try and practice that. Like it took me so many contractions to go through that and try to do it.
Right.
Because I kept like not being able to hold my breath that long.
Yeah.
And then like gasping for air and like trying to go into it again. And then by the time I would go into it again, after I took a gasp, like the contraction would be over and then I'd have to wait for another one.
Yes.
So there was that.
Oh my gosh.
And then again, like you just feel like really tight skin, like it's ripping. I thought, oh, I'm tearing, you know?
Yeah.
But that did not happen, thankfully. Shockingly.
So wild.
And
Yeah. With
thankfully,
all that
gratefully.
that you went through.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So finally, I was, you know, like holding my legs back and everything. And then they were like, you might have to get out on the bed and like try again just to get things, try to get it moving more. And I was like, I cannot get out of this tub.
Right. I don't know how that was going to happen.
I am not going to give birth dry on the bed. It's just not happening for me. So then I was like a little more determined too. Like, I'm just going to give it all I got, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, I do not want to get on the bed. And
I don't know if you could.
First of all, I don't know if I
Get
could.
out?
Second of all,
Please.
I do not want to go through that on the bed. Like, the little relief I have is from the water.
Yeah.
So,
I just don't think you would have made it.
no. So, yeah, then we start, she said, okay, let's try one other thing, and that's to, like, get you on your side and then pick your leg up. So they were, like, holding up my leg. My doula, I think, was holding my leg up as I was, like, laying on my side.
Oh, my gosh.
And that one, oh, my gosh, I just pushed with everything that I had. And then after the contraction was over, I, like, took a breath and, like, kept pushing. And she came out.
Oh, my gosh. That's insane.
And they were like, because I could feel it, they were like, yeah, that's it. So I was like, oh my gosh.
No, there is a motivation that comes over you when they're like, she's coming, or he's coming, whatever. Yeah. But you're like, I just gotta keep it.
Yeah. No, and I continued on like past that contraction, just like, and then the feeling was suddenly like jello shooting out of you, you know? Like it's so painful, and then it's just like,
yeah.
The rest, when the body comes out, you're like, oh my gosh.
There's a weird sensation with that. It's
like the head is so hard to get through, and then
I still can
the
remember
body is just like,
yes.
And I was like shocked.
It's like an animal.
Yeah, when you see them fall
like
out.
You see cows like fall out. Yes, that's what I thought of.
Come out. Yeah. So she did have the cord wrapped once, but she was fine. She, it was the biggest relief ever.
Yeah, I bet.
You know,
you're finally
it's like instantly over. You're like, oh my gosh, I did it. You know, like it's over.
And like she's here, she's safe, she's good. You know?
She's 41 weeks. You know, in 4 days, I think. She still had all this vernix on her, which, you know, they usually lose their vernix, but she was still very teasy.
Nice.
And, she didn't, like, cry. I was kind of expecting, you're going to need to, like, spank her or whatever to get her to shout. And they were like, oh, no, she's fine. She was just kind of like, meh, you know? And they were like, that's fine. Like, she didn't need to do anything else. So she was just making these little gentle noises. It's like, oh, my gosh, hi. So, and her name's Darby. So I was like, hi, Darby, you did it, you know, whatever. And it was, I mean, after that, you're like, this is awesome. Like, I could do this all day. And by that night, I was like, I fear the experience is leaving my memory, the pain of it, you know? Mm-hmm. It's already slipping.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But all in all, like, I'm not going to say it's not painful, but it is painful, but I think the pain serves a purpose, and you can do it, you know?
Right.
Like, you're still designed to do it.
Yeah.
So you can get through it. Like, you're stronger than it. I read, you know, you're like reading books and stuff ahead of time. And one book said, like, birth pain is, like, clean because it doesn't actually, like, hurt you. It just is painful in the moment. But as soon as it's over, it's over. So it's not like damaging you on the way out, and you're not still in pain a month later. You know, it's just like an in the moment intensity and pain. So it's
to the
Yeah.
to the end. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of took that with me too. Like the pain is just here now, but like
Right.
as soon as it's over, it's done.
Yes. And then there was a little bit more afterwards.
There is. So we did skin to skin, I think for like an hour. I don't know. She was just on my chest. She was hanging out, like just being sweet. And we did that for a while. And then it was probably like 30 or 45 minutes in. I needed to push out the placenta. So I was kind of nervous for that because I started feeling crampy again. I was like, oh no, like I don't want more contractions.
Yeah.
And then it came out like nothing again.
Yeah.
Because at first she was kind of like tugging on the cord, and it wasn't coming out. And so
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to have to like push it out? You know?
Right,
I was very
right.
nervous about that. But no, it just slipped out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
I
was
didn't-
nothing.
I didn't remember that at all.
No.
I think it just
Yeah.
came right out.
Yeah. And I was still in the water at this point. So it's also like there weren't smells, I guess. I think the water contained it all. So I was like, yeah. And then the cord was like white at that point. So we cut it.
Nice.
Peter cut it. And then
Go Peter.
he took her and started doing like skin to skin with her while I was going to like kind of like wash up in the tub. I kind of took like a mini bath.
Yeah.
And then tried to get out. Well, getting out, I don't want to get into all of it, but getting out, I think I was so dehydrated and stuff. And then
Definitely.
the relief of getting the baby out, my blood pressure was high and then it went really low. And I started to get out and then I was like, oh, I'm starting to like see stars and my ears are ringing. I was like, I think I'm going to pass out. And I feel like I laid back, but then all of a sudden they were like, what's your daughter's name? I was like, Darby. I was like, oh no, did I pass out?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, for a second.
It is funny when you pass out, you don't know.
They
it,
were like,
you know,
at first they were like, what's your favorite place to go on vacation? I was like, I have no idea.
literally, that's a hard question.
Yeah. I was like, I have no idea. And they're
Yeah,
like,
that's
what's your
something different
daughter's
than
name? I
that.
was like,
Yeah, that's better.
Darby. Yeah.
Like, there's so many places I would go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't pick one.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, did I pass out? Like, oh,
Yeah.
so sorry. I feel
Yeah.
great now. Like,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. But basically, every time I would try to get up to walk, it was a little too much.
Yeah.
So we had to, you know, have an IV. I felt amazing after the IV.
I bet. You
know?
needed it.
Yeah. And then I had requested to have like a after birth meal.
Yeah.
So our friend Chris had dropped off my request, which was the HEB, I think San Antonio roll and
Okay.
a vintage cola olipop.
As you should.
And they were like, let's heat you up a warm meal. And I was like, sure, but I really want...
I want my
Yeah.
meal.
So I ate some of the warm meal, but then I had my 8 a.m.
Probably could
you know,
take
my
all of that
7
down.
or 8 a.m. sushi and my
That's
olipop.
true. I didn't think about the timing of it.
It was fine. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
literally, it
Like
was,
that's what you
it was a
wanted.
time warp. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I was feeling...
And you've been up so
Yeah.
long, so
Yeah.
you know, you probably didn't feel like
I
it
was feeling
morning.
good. You know, I was just in the bed,
Yeah.
like getting my IV and
Yeah.
hanging out. Darby was sleeping. I was chowing down.
Yeah.
I think Peter was even sleeping at that point because we were just, you know, taking what we
Yeah.
can.
Absolutely.
I like sat in the bed and like did my makeup because I was like, you know, we're going home, we're gonna see people, so I don't want to be like wild. But yeah, I had thought, oh, I'll probably labor in this other outfit. I was thinking I was gonna wear my black butterfly shorts and like a purple sports bra. No, I never got out of anything. I had this green top on and the skirt, and all I did
Yeah.
was take the skirt off.
Yeah.
And we did everything
Did it
else in
there.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Wait, what color shirt did you
It was the green.
have? Okay. Yeah, I remember now.
The green tank top. It was pretty much
Yeah.
like a sports bra on me.
Yeah.
it was a tank top. And yeah,
Wow.
that's how it went. And then we
Crazy
were
wild.
home that day by like 12:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice.
then we got to chill, hang out, you know,
Enjoy.
sleep.
Enjoy the time.
Yeah.
That's
go to bed
nice.
in our own bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Sort of go to bed.
Right. Oh, I like stayed up all night that first night and just watched
Oh yeah.
her.
Exactly.
I was just like, okay, how do you, are you, I don't know, when you cough, like,
Yeah.
how are you recovering afterward? I was just kind of like observing her, like, can she keep herself alive? You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
while she sleeps, and
Oh, exactly.
she was good, you know, but I just needed to,
Right.
like, I guess,
See
stay
it.
up and watch her. Yeah, so I did
Yeah.
not sleep at all that night. I just
No.
watched her.
I think that's probably everyone.
Yeah. And then I was kind of like laying down, and I was laying down on my side and I had my knees up. And then I was like, oh my gosh, my back is spasming. I'm like, what did I do?
Oh.
Please.
What did I do?
I'm like, what did I do to get these back spasms? Oh, maybe like in labor all night.
Right.
Literally. So like the first week, I feel like I had some back spasms. Like
Yeah.
when I would lay down, I'd be like, oh gosh, it's starting to lock up and like, and I was like, okay.
Ouch.
But, you know, we got through it.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
definitely.
got through it.
Well, I feel like people want to know this burning question.
Okay.
Because leading up, you know, there was a lot of talk. You weren't prepared, like you weren't wanting to have a baby necessarily before this, you know, and like you were like, am I gonna like her? Like, am I gonna, you know, how am I gonna be? Like all of those questions. And obviously, you know, people have heard you talk about just not wanting to have kids, right? So now,
Yeah.
you gotta tell them how you feel.
I like her a lot. No, it's I don't know. She was just I wouldn't say there's like this big transformation. Like I don't feel like a different person, and I don't necessarily feel like super motherly still, or like
I think you are.
like I don't feel like a mom sometimes.
Okay, I get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like, I can't believe I'm a mom.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like I feel normal,
Totally.
but you know, we figure it out. Like
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
my daughter. I can
Right.
figure out what she needs. I'm going to connect with her. Like,
Yeah.
I love her guts. And she's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
love
just
it.
think she's great. And I don't know. I think she's the best.
Yeah. No, whenever I think I text you, like, so how do you feel about her, you know? And you're like, I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear this.
Yeah. You just wonder how somebody you've never met, like, how you're going to connect to them. Like, because it's like, I don't know her.
Yeah. But like,
I don't know what she's going to look like. I don't know what she's going to act like. Like it's very shocking to think that you would have like a connection with them, but you just do. And you're like, oh my gosh. And like, I don't know, my opinion, but I'm like, I think she came out cute, you know?
yeah. Absolutely.
So it's like, you know, she's like, she wasn't as scrawny as like some early babies, you know, because she was a little bit fuller.
Right.
She came out cute, you know?
Yeah.
So that helped too.
Yeah. Exactly.
But she was super chill and I don't know, just great.
I love it. So exciting.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, you never know what to expect in birth, but I feel like that would be my hardest one. So I feel like if I had a kid again in the future, I'm like, oh, I could definitely do it because it's probably going to be easier labor than what I just went through.
Right. Probably faster, too, I would assume.
Yes.
You know?
Because she really paved the way.
Exactly. Which is usually how it goes. So there's good chances.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot better.
Yeah. I'm like, we're good. If I did that one, I pushed out a sunny side up baby and didn't tear, like,
you got this.
we could really.
Absolutely. Totally.
Yeah. Not that I'm in a rush, you know, to do it again, but
Yeah.
I'm like,
No, but I get that like forgetting thing. I'm like, I forgot about the lack of sleep and all that stuff, and I'm like,
right.
oh, I can't wait to have another one.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't feel like the lack of sleep was that bad. You just have, like, when you nap, you're like in another dimension.
Absolutely.
But, you know, when you're going through it, you're just like, I gotta be up. Like, we're up again, you know?
No, that hit me hard.
You take any kind of sleep that you have and
Oh, you for sure do.
you make it work. I don't know.
Yeah, we were like sleeping in. We were putting her back to sleep, going back to sleep too. We were just doing it all
Even
to
right
survive.
now, like, she'll go to bed at like, you know, 8:30, and by 9:30, I'm like, I'm getting in bed with her, you know?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Not with her, but
Oh no, we would go to sleep the exact same time.
yeah, I'm like, you know, as soon as she goes down, I'm like, I think I want to take advantage.
You have to.
Yeah.
You must.
Yeah.
It's a must.
So
Yeah, no, it's true.
yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed, but you know, we got through it.
Yeah,
I was kind of
we did it.
wondering, just beforehand, like what kind of noises am I going to make?
Uh-huh.
Am I going to scream? Am I going to whatever? I don't think I screamed.
I'll have to ask Peter.
I'll have to ask for confirmation, but I definitely like would do like some that.
I can see that.
Yeah. Because they're like, if anything, go deeper with your noises because it actually benefits you at that point. Because it's like helping you push.
That makes sense.
So I'd do that or like blow raspberries at the end.
But you like make that noise in general?
That?
No, like like when you're feeling something. Yeah. So that checks out.
Yeah. Oh, it got a little more primal than what I'm doing right there, but
just another level of it.
Yeah. I think maybe a couple times, like, I lost control of, like, my breathing. You know what I mean? I would just be like, like...
Yeah.
And I couldn't, like, breathe through them. Like, when I would change positions, that first one, there was no breathing through it. I would have to, like...
Right. Because you're, like, moving, So you're kind of, like, trying to focus on 5 million things.
So yeah. But,
But you did it.
Yeah.
And now she's here.
Yeah.
And now it's wild. We're hanging out the other night, and it's like, now we have babies.
I know. Doing
with us.
Sleepovers.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's still unreal.
Yeah.
To me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, how is she here? How is she ours?
Right.
No,
wild. Definitely. Yeah. And I also thought, like, I don't know, leading up to it, having no symptoms. People also say, like, oh, started getting some milk, ahead of time. It started leaking. I had none of that. So I was like, I don't think she's going to latch or get anything or whatever. I was just kind of like, you can, they're like, well, put her on your chest. I was like, you could try, but there's nothing there. She literally, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm shocked. She's literally like swallowing, getting stuff like,
right.
I don't know.
It's everything about it is so crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, how did they just know how to do it?
Yeah.
They just come out and they're like,
we're like, they're ready to get after it. I'm like,
your instincts are good.
Yeah. She's trying to get after on Peter, but
yeah, they do.
She's looking for
they're
anything.
Like, wait,
yeah,
until they recognize.
Yeah, it's just crazy, that built-in instinct.
Right.
Wild.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Exciting times.
I know.
Now we have sweet Darby here.
Yeah. We got little Darby. She's fun.
Yeah.
She is, the first couple days, she was like super sleepy and like not really eating much.
Yeah.
And I would have to like put ice on her to like try to feed her. And then after that, she's not stopped eating. So
she
grew out of that. Yeah. And now she's always, hunger fixes everything, feeding her fixes everything.
Right.
So yeah, she's a growing girl.
She is. Mm-hmm. Yay.
Yeah.
How old is she now? Months?
Almost 7 weeks.
Okay. Wow.
Insane. Oh my gosh.
Seriously flies.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Yeah.
It's good times.
That song got me through.
Yeah. You did
the other
it.
side. Yep.
We're proud of you.
Thanks. Also, I will say, like, if you're trying to plan an unmedicated birth, you have to have, I don't want to say you have to have, okay, but it helps to have a little bit of, I want to prove everybody wrong. Because that,
I'm sure with anything helps.
Because that will fuel you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there were some people who were like,
okay.
Totally. You're going to go to the hospital.
Mm.
And I was like, I will definitely not transfer to the hospital.
That's a crazy thing to say to someone.
I think it was, some people you're like, you just get the idea that they assume. And then a couple people kind of
say it blatantly.
They kind of let things slip, So it helps to want to prove somebody wrong, I think.
Right. Yeah.
For sure. That can fuel you for a long way.
Absolutely.
And then I told you this ahead of time, but a friend of mine who we've been pregnant together like the whole time, she gave birth like on my due date, and she had texted me.
That is so funny too.
Yeah, she texted me because she was due after me. She was due on the 15th, which is my
crazy how that can
fake
happen.
due date. Anyway, she had texted me I did it with a heart, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know what this means, you know.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
then
yeah.
I was wanting to text her back like I did it, you know.
Right,
so then I was
yeah.
waiting on
The
that.
motivation.
Yeah, there was just some motivation there.
Yeah,
and
you
just
have to
thinking
have, I'm sure.
I can do anything for a day.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
even thinking about like another kid's like, oh my gosh, like it was hard and painful and all the things. Like people are like, oh, it's just pressure, it's not pain. Like, sure, whatever. Like, it is tough.
Yeah.
But also like it was a day.
Yeah.
Like I could definitely do another day.
Right. And again, you're already forgetting by that time.
Yeah.
It's probably gone, pecan.
Yeah. And I'm like, and if it's shorter than it was last time, like
Yeah.
I don't even have to do
sure
a
it will
day.
be. Yeah, exactly. It could be a few hours.
Yeah. So it's like,
So,
I don't know. It's good when it gets intense because it's just, you know, like,
you know it's coming to
Yeah.
a close.
exactly. You just have to get through a few more
Right.
and then boom.
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Anything else you want to know? I think you've heard it all. But
I know. I'm trying to think
Yeah.
what the people would want to know.
Yeah. People, what do you want to know? I think somebody said, like, what would you wish you would have known ahead of time? And I guess it's just like at the end, you might have to push differently than what you think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think for all births, it's like you can have a plan in your head, but it's just, you can't control anything.
Yeah.
It's just such a, it's a wild card.
Yeah.
So I think be prepared for that,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because you can have, like, again, you can have the plan and even set it in your head. There's nothing wrong with that. That's great. But just know, like, okay, if things pivot, it's good to just kind of go with the flow a little bit more
Yeah.
because you don't want to be, like, stressed out at the end because, like, oh, well, I'm, like the breathing thing. Like, I have to breathe differently. That's like, okay.
Exactly.
let's
It's
get
like
into gear.
differently than I had practiced the
Yeah.
entire time. And it was like,
Exactly.
hold your breath. And I was like, I can't. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I've been taking deep breaths and like breathing out. Like,
yeah, exactly.
to hold it all in was,
Ugh, terrible. Yeah.
yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah. But I don't know how you prepare for that. It's just kind of
Yeah.
like in the moment you gotta like roll with it. But there are
Right.
some things that you just don't expect. Like, oh, okay, like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't
I feel
expect
like
that. Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people give birth recently, some friends
Yeah.
and even people like that I don't know, just like on podcasts and
Yeah.
stuff. And it's always like the same story. It's like, again, you just, nothing ever happens the way you pictured perfectly. There's always just something, even if it's a little something. It's just like, that's a little different than what I thought.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
You still did it.
Yeah. I just knew. I'm thankful that I gave birth in the water because that
Yeah.
was what I wanted, and I did not want to get out and
Yeah,
be on all
yeah.
fours on that bed.
I just don't think you would have made it to the bed.
No.
If you were barely able to make it to the tub or something, or you were on your
Right.
knees at one point, like,
No. Getting out
gonna
again.
move this girl?
No way.
I think not.
I think not.
I do not think so.
No way.
We're gonna leave you here. That's what I would
Yeah.
say. I feel like I would have made it worse.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's like, let's just leave her.
Like my blood pressure is already high. Now you're gonna try to make
Yeah.
me walk.
And that would make it high. You'd pass out probably.
Yeah. So I'd rather pass out on the other side of it. Just so
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh, okay, like endorphins and
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, did you ever have any contractions while breastfeeding at first?
I don't really think I noticed it. And you know what?
Okay.
I was gonna mention that people always talk about this fundal massage, where they come and like press down on your stomach to see where all your organs are, and they say,
Oh, yeah.
oh, that's more painful than birth or whatever. I don't even remember it. Like there was.
I didn't think it was that painful. I mean, it was uncomfortable,
I don't even remember discomfort.
but like people had hyped it up so much that
Yes.
it was painful that I think it was like nothing to me.
I felt nothing with
Yeah.
that. I was like, what?
I was very thankful.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
We're good.
Yeah, it was kind of like bracing up or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
it was very very chill. And then I heard somebody else say like, oh, you're going to feel like jello afterward. Like you're not going to be able to sit up or like have no core strength. I didn't feel that at all. Like I felt
No.
normal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt like strong, you know, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know everybody has a different experience, but I didn't feel like super weak.
I wonder if those are people that still have the tight belly afterwards.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, some people still have, it looks like they're
Oh.
still pregnant.
Maybe.
Mine went down
yeah.
pretty quickly. So I didn't have like any hard spots. Like theirs look like it's hard. Like it's still a baby in there.
Yeah, no.
Mine
not at
was,
all.
you know, rubbery. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why I didn't feel.
Yeah, I remember laying in the bed like
Like
oh
it was
my
hard to
gosh,
move.
like it's already gone down so much. Kinda like
Yeah.
playing with it or whatever. And then like
Exactly.
the next day I had my shorts on. Like
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Right. No.
that's
yeah.
crazy. And I was like, I don't know if I was just used to being like so pregnant, but I was like,
Right, yeah.
shoot, like I look good. You know? You're like,
You're like, all right.
yeah. I was just like, I think I'm so used to seeing myself with this beer belly that
Yeah.
I'm like, this
I kind of
feels
missed my
awesome.
belly afterwards.
I didn't. Yeah, I remember you saying like, "Oh, it feels so strange for it to be empty or something." You were like,
I don't know.
you were like, I felt a phantom
missed
kick.
having it. Yeah, I think I did.
And I never, like, I immediately stopped feeling pregnant. You know?
Yeah, yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, oh wow, I'm back to me. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like there was anything missing. You know, sometimes people are like, oh, I missed.
Sometimes I still feel a phantom kick. I'm like, am I pregnant?
It's already kicking.
Exactly. Like, I guess it goes faster the second.
Yeah, it was so fast. They come out kicking. Yeah. So
man.
there's that. It
Yeah.
was a good time.
Good time.
And Peter did great.
Yeah.
He was really solid support.
Good.
And he
Strong.
was doing counter pressure and let me squeeze his hand off, and
Yeah.
he was giving me encouragement, praying for me, you know, like
Yeah.
I just really think like, how do people do this without a supportive
Oh, I don't know.
person there, you know?
Any of it. Like, the after, too.
Yeah. Oh, 100% the after.
Ugh.
And also, I had a doula, which I would 100% get a doula. People are like, oh, you only need a doula for like the first pregnancy because they're like emotional support. They help get you through it or whatever.
Please, who doesn't need emotional support? Take it right now.
I was going to say, she was hands-on and
That's
giving
awesome.
me counter pressure the whole time, rubbing essential oils on my face, like giving me, she gave me like a pack of honey right before I was about to push and came and rubbed like Valor like on my temple.
Nice. Yeah.
And I mean, I was like,
like, I'm a queen.
first of all, yes, she was anticipating needs. She was giving all that counter pressure. Like she's like buff. Like she has to
I
be
bet.
like,
She has to be
on it the
ready,
whole time,
yeah.
all night long.
Totally.
I'm like, oh yeah, 100% would have a doula every single
Yeah.
time. But I don't like. She was also a massage therapist and a doula. So,
amazing.
You know, I would say if you're gonna get one,
You knew what to
look
do.
for one that's also a massage therapist because she
Yeah.
immensely helped
Love
with
it.
all of that.
Yeah.
You know? Or
That's
even
so good.
sometimes, you know, you're going through stuff and then she would like squeeze my shoulders. I'm like, oh, thank God. Like,
I'm like, thank you. I
Yeah.
didn't even know I needed that.
yeah. Yeah. So that really, I mean, as somebody who I think whenever I'm going through, let's say I pull a muscle or something and I need to get it like worked out.
Yeah.
Some people are like pain avoidant and I'm like, no, put your elbows into me and like get it out. So
Right.
I think I'm definitely somebody who's like, give me all the pressure to get through this.
Yes.
So for someone, if you're like that, then I would say definitely get a doula.
Someone who's ready.
Because if Peter had to do that the whole time
Oh,
and try to give me
gosh.
emotional support, I just don't think there would be
It would've
enough of
been
him to go around.
exhausting. No, that's so true.
know.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing that we did, which at first I was like, babe, it's like your duty. You have to drive us home afterward. Like, this is like your manly thing to do. And then
Yeah.
you were like, oh, we had Matthew's sister drive us home. And I was like, honestly, we've been up over 24
Yeah.
hours. So, like, having a friend to drive you home,
Yes.
especially
Oh
since
my
it's like an
gosh.
hour drive, that was
Yeah.
such a blessing to
Right.
have that, like, lined out. And they, you know, dropped us off. And
You don't have to worry about staying awake while
No.
you drive a baby home.
No. Yeah.
I was like, I don't think you can do it.
No.
This is scary.
Yeah.
Scarier than anything.
Yeah. And I was just shocked and immediately like how long it was taking me to like write text. You know,
Right?
I'm like, oh my
Yes.
gosh, like your mind is just like places. I don't know. I was
Yes.
like, we have to like do a post, announce the name, take a picture or whatever. And I'm
Yes.
just like freezing. And I'm like, they're probably getting so annoyed because they still don't know what her name is. And it's been hours, you know?
yeah.
Like we have to like write a post or whatever, but it was
Yeah.
just taking time to like,
No, exactly.
Pull
Because
up
you're
your
doing a million
phone.
things,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't even have time
yeah.
to write this text back. That's
Yeah.
how I felt. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Peter's like, they're-
Because I'm a very, like, fast responder, and I went dark, I think.
Yeah. Peter's like, they're okay. I was like,
Yeah.
they're going to be upset, you know. Whatever.
yeah.
He's like, we need to take
That's
a
all
picture.
right.
And
But people are very
the
understanding at that
photo.
time.
Yeah.
Even though you really want to know.
Right.
But, you know.
Right.
You get it, too.
Right. What did you think when you saw the post and everything?
I was excited. I was, like, waiting for it.
Yeah.
I was, like, ready for other people to know.
Yeah.
Because I was still keeping it a secret
Yeah.
because I was like, I don't know if they want people to know that they had the baby. So then I was like, oh,
Yeah. No, I mean like the post on the blog page when we were like, here's her
like,
picture
here's her name.
and your name.
Yeah,
and
I was
everything.
like, yay,
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's so cute. And I don't know, did I cry? I feel like I maybe teared up.
Oh, yeah.
That's very possible.
That's fun.
So I was like, I cannot believe she's here.
I know.
What we've been
Crazy.
waiting for. Like, you know, like we were both pregnant.
Yeah.
We were both waiting.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, because I
both here.
remember before having her, like I would be, you know, shopping around. And I'm pregnant and I'm like, I don't even think I was super close to being due. And I would just like hear other babies. And I'm like, oh, I'm ready to have my baby. You
Really?
know, like there's just parts of me that I was like, I'm glad for the time, but also I'm like, this is kind of sad. Like I'm ready,
Oh,
you
wow.
know, to see her, meet her.
Oh, when
so
you were
then,
pregnant.
yeah.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I was just like, I don't know. And now that she was here, it was just like, okay, like, now we're doing this.
It's way better to have like a baby to hold. I don't know.
right then, like, in your stomach.
yes.
And yeah,
Yes.
well, sure.
I don't know. Like holding a baby is like fun.
It felt, there was still times
like,
when
cozy as
she's in
heck.
your stomach, you're like, you forget. Or
Yeah.
I forget.
Oh, I would
I'm
forget
like,
all the
oh, I
time.
forgot I'm pregnant.
For
I'm going to
sure.
have a baby.
For sure. And then that last week for me, I was like sleeping through the night and like didn't have reflux. I'm like, what's happening? You know, like I was
Yeah.
kind of forgetting that I was pregnant. I was the most
Yeah.
pregnant.
Yeah, literally.
I don't know. Okay, one thing that's been happening to me, and I need to know, is it just me? Am I alone in this? I've been waking up the past week or so. Every time I wake up, my wrists are killing.
I think that happened to me.
Happen to you?
Yes.
I don't know if
And
I'm just
cannot
like
remember.
holding her differently, or if I'm doing this and. Or if I'm like, you know, maybe like multitasking and I'm holding her and like scooping around her butt with the wrist.
Yeah.
My wrists, like when I wake up, I'm like, oh, these are so painful. Like I feel like
Yeah.
crippled wrists.
Yeah. No, I think I remember my arms and stuff being sore because it was just like, we're literally holding.
Yeah, for me, it's
Something
all,
every day.
all in the wrist. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to do too much too. Like I'll be holding her and
Yeah.
have my phone or like trying
Is
to
it both
trying
wrists?
to eat. Yeah, it's usually both wrists.
Interesting. Wow.
But I'm like, the
Yeah.
wrists are killing right now. I don't know.
Yeah. Could be also, yeah, like holding the phone.
Holding
like,
the phone
in a
or
weird
like
position.
trying to eat like while you're
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
or like wrapping my arm around her to hold the bottle. That feels like
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's things that I'm doing. I
Literally.
have regrets every time I wake up.
You're like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know.
But fun times.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Love
Yeah.
it.
So there it is, guys.
New us.
Yes. Yeah.
Families of 3.
I know. I'm like, man, we really got to get through this. You can't be an only child forever. you
I know.
I'm not in a rush, but yeah, if I could have done it over, I would have had a sibling, for myself. So
Yeah.
she'll need
I get that.
need a pal. At least she has Amelia,
Yeah. It's true.
because they're so close in age and they'll be hanging out like
Right.
often. It's
Yeah.
not like she's not going to be on an island, not
No.
ever be around other kids.
Yes.
And then she has cousins and stuff. So,
Right.
you know,
But I get it. Yeah.
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Like, you can't just be yourself.
No, but it is weird because right now we're like so Darby land.
I know.
And I'm like,
I think about
this
that
is
sometimes.
the password child. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're just like, I'm like, we have Darby land. This is for Darby. This is Darby's room. I'm wearing a D necklace for Darby. And I'm like, what am I going to do when I have a second kid? Like,
I know. That I feel like people always talk about that. They're like, before they have a second, they're like, how am I going to share like all this love, that I have for the first one? But then they say like, oh, but you make room or whatever. But I do kind of get that. I'm like,
for me, it's not even like,
it's literally, she's all we have right now. We literally focus every minute of the day on her.
Right.
How do you do it with two?
Right. Well, for me, it's not even like the love. It's just like all these things I do. Like, what am I going to do? Like, wear 2 necklaces now? You know? Or like, we have this. This is Darby land, and this is her play area. But like, now she's going to share it? Or like, is somebody else... Is the next one going to get their own space?
Right. Yeah. It's like, what are you
And then
do?
Peter's like, I'm a girl dad. But like, if you have a boy, you're just a dad. You know? You're going to have to take the girl dad patch off of your...
boy dad.
Yeah.
It's true.
Like a girl dad patch on his, morale badge on his bag. He's going to have to just take that off. Or girl dad.
He's still a girl
and boy
dad.
dad. Like,
Just add a boy.
Yeah. Just,
yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting,
but
that's a bridge to cross.
Right, we're not there yet.
No, not at all.
We've got time to figure it out.
What I would do differently next time is also not give birth an hour away.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd be like, let me climb in my own tub. Like, honestly.
Well, honestly, that's the more you have, the harder it might be to get there.
That too. And honestly, like, I'd rather just labor at home and...
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. Get in the tub when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Get back in my bed.
Yeah.
Honestly, so...
Do what you want to do.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see.
All right.
But yeah, feeling good. We got through it. And I was joking with Peter. I was like, there's something about men, like when they, especially like pastors, when their wife like has babies, then they suddenly want to preach about like birth pains and we're in the church is in the birth pains, they're in the birth canal, they're birthing a new vision. I'm like, come on, they want to use all these birth analogies, and I'm like, he said one the other day and I was like, it's already happening.
He's doing it.
They're like, it's painful, there's groaning, you know what I mean? Like, there's literally a scripture that's like a groaning of a woman in labor.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Y'all love that now that you've seen it, you know?
Y'all love that. They're like, it's just very fresh in their minds.
Yeah.
They're like, I get it.
like
I get it now.
seared
This
in there.
scripture really came to life to me.
Yeah, they love it. They love it.
That's so funny. We'll stay tuned for that.
Yeah. All right, well, this has been a long episode, so we'll wrap it up there.
Yep.
And next episode, we are going to shoot the breeze and catch up on everything else. So if you want to know what we've been up to, I'm sure we will catch you up, for sure.
Sure, there's a lot.
What our kids have been going through. I could talk about cloth diapering if you're curious about any of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. I'll touch on it. I like it. I'm a big fan. And all the other fun stuff that we've been doing, what we've been watching, because I do have things to say on that.
Okay. Yeah.
And where we've been, what's on the horizon. So it's going to be fun.
So many things.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
All right.
Bye from
See you next time.
Bye from the mamas.
Yeah. Bye.
Later. Thanks for listening today. Make sure that you're following us at Honesty Club Podcast on Instagram, or check out our website, thehonestyclub.com, to be a part of future episodes.
You can submit an idea for a topic or write in with a story for us to share.
If you like this episode, make sure to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts, leave us a review, or share it with a friend.
See you next Thursday.